Welcome back, WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and Baltimore Positive. We're keeping it calm. I'm remaining very, very local. Nothing more local or more near and dear to my heart than my cat and my cats and the two cats that I have brought in. One is a kitten, and hopefully if things go right in this segment and my magma lamp from Sporticulture does not scare her off and my wife can corral her, we're going to bring her in momentarily, at least to say hello. Kate Pika has been my friend for going on 2 decades. She is the other half of the Chris Pika who always joins us for Blog and Tackle and Pro Football Writers and Mount St. Joe and Loyola and all his Michael Jordan stories. Kate, I'm not going to ask the story of you and Chris, and I'll let Chris tell the story about how he swooned you and won your heart somewhere in minor league baseball. I don't know where it was along that pathway, but miraculously and crazily, you've been in my life all these years, and you and Chris have made your way to Baltimore because you, in some strange, miraculous way, wound up doing the work at the Baltimore Humane Society with the same people that we have gotten to know over the last 8 years that we've adopted 2 incredible creatures from. You know of my love for my cat. You've taken care of my cat. You know my cat as well, but you get to know many cats and kittens and dogs and animals and furry friends at Bmore Humane. And today we're going to tell our audience why it's important here during the pandemic that, I tell you what, the cats made the pandemic better for us the first couple weeks. Kate Pika, welcome in. How are you?
I am doing just fine. Working out of the house, missing being able to go down and pet all of those furry friends like I usually get to do. But
You're getting cheated, right? This isn't fair to you. This pandemic, this isn't fair to you to be away from the animals. I mean, this is what you love, right?
I know, but in the same respect, what we decided to do, and this was a game plan right from the get-go, was that we had to think about what happens if someone should get sick.
Oh.
And so what we did was our executive director, our board of directors all got together, sat down and said, how do we make sure that there are people to take care of the animals? Yes, we're going to be on limited staff, but how do we make sure there's always someone there? And what we decided to do was they divided up the staff. And so part of the staff is staying home and part of the staff is coming in. And there's 2, the people that are going in are actually rotating so that at any given time, should someone fall ill, then there is another person that's healthy and has not been in that environment that can take over. So it was well thought out. It was a great game plan. It's worked so far, and so far no one has shown any signs of anything, not even a sniffle or a minor cold.
All right, I'm going to use my quiet voice. Our cat has joined the set, and if I use the voice that I'm capable of using, she'll run. She's afraid of the hat. I think she doesn't like my hat, and I'm wearing the headset right now. We got this little girl. She fit literally into the palm of my hands. She had a little cone on her head, and we picked her out. Our hearts were so broken when we lost Kitty, and she was a little kitten, and we came out into Bmore Humane, Nicodemus Road. You can go to Bmore Humane out on Facebook and learn more about beautiful. Kate, she's interested. She's interested in the lights. Yeah, she's well, maybe she's not interested anymore. She's got a beautiful little Buddha belly, and my wife has such a hold on her, and we're trying to keep her calm. But she's so beautiful, and she's now 2.5. She was born on my mother's birthday of August the 3rd, which is one of the reasons we got her. She had been on the floor for all of 5 minutes. And they said, if you want the kitten, you better take the kitten because she will disappear. And I had been in the cages playing with a mother and a son. There was another girl we had looked at, and we had looked at several. And when I reached into the cage, she had a cone on. And unlike now where she's like a little uppity, I don't know what she's just scared. This is unusual for her to be in the studio. Oh, yep. She's going to leave the building now. Nahla's going to... No, she's not going to leave the building. Jen's going to play with her. But she reached out from her cone, and she kissed me on the nose.
Oh.
So I picked her up, and she kissed me on the nose through her little cone because she had just been fixed. And I looked up at Jen, and Jen looked at me, and she's like, well, I guess we're taking this one, huh? So she's now on the floor getting used to the new office. We've turned the office into a cat yoga studio. And when my previous cat passed 2.5 years ago, when we lost Kitty, we were over in Paris. It was the week of the knee game with the Ravens. And we were so heartbroken, 13 days we didn't have a cat. And we came out and we adopted Nahla. We brought her home. And I said, what I'm going to do with this cat that I didn't do with the other cat was do yoga. So we've now built a hot yoga studio here inside the studio where Jen and I are trying to not gain so much weight during the pandemic. So Nahla's back on the set now. She's liking the lights maybe a little
Chris
bit.
and I are doing great. We're on the pandemic diet, as we're calling it, or the COVID diet. And so
eat whatever you see.
I'm like 13 pounds down, and Chris is 7 pounds down.
Well, this is what happens when you can't find groceries.
Yes, that is part of it. There is no junk in this house, and in order, of course, to get out of the house and at least like breathe fresh air, we go on a nice long walk every day.
Well, I bet you see dogs.
Is empty. We're like in Charles Village, so there's, and as long as you keep the social distancing in mind, I mean, I've got a university and some parks and everything that's just wide open space right now, and I can see the dogs at a distance. I mean, so I kind of get my fill there.
At 5 o'clock every day, you can take a walk anywhere in this city and see people with their animals, right? Like,
I absolutely love it here, and I love it here partially for that reason because it is such a pet-friendly place by comparison to other places that I've lived. And I love Baltimore anyway. You guys know that. I fell in love with my husband, and I fell in love with the city at the same time, and that happened almost 25 years ago.
Wow, and now you get to live here.
I wanted to be here, and for the past 12, 14 years, we were determined, and it took this long, and I smile every time I think about it.
Well, the Bmore Humane folks, I mean, let's talk about them because, I've known Wendy for a long time, and John Rollo also has adopted and done a lot with Sandy Reset and doing the show Your Soft Side. And we've offered Nahla up with my wife and I if they ever want to do a soft side. We're very open-hearted about all that. She's now playing with the pointer out here. We're going to get her back up onto the set. Jen is going to mellow her out and get her up here and get her comfortable with me in here screaming and doing radio and having a good time, but we love her so much, and we as a family now, right? I mean, being sequestered and being quarantined and being alone, the time with the animal, right? For people that are working from home now, this is an opportunity that you maybe could take on an animal that you couldn't when you worked further away or were commuting or felt like there was nobody to let the dog or the cat out during the day. Or and every time I go out and see dogs, and no offense to dogs, I'm happy we have a cat. I love that the cat poops in the box. I love that it stays here. I love that we can leave for a day or so. Then we don't have that. But I also see people's relationships with their dogs, and there is a part of that I grew up with a dog. But I would highly recommend, as a 52-year-old who had a pet as a child, didn't have a pet during my 30s, did during my 20s. I had a cat named Poe before the Ravens were here. Kate, I'll have you know, and Poe was beautiful. Poe was a Balinese, just beautiful, beautiful chocolate point Balinese. So I've had several cats in my adulthood, and they just seemingly get better. She's just such a beautiful creature in every way, and we're big fans of adopting. So give everybody the lowdown on what you guys are going through, because I know a lot of shelters, a lot of rescues have had challenges and will continue to have challenges. We want to make sure that's not the case with the Bmore Humane people that have filled our condo with so much love and a little bit of sugar and spice. She's spicy sometimes, which makes her a cat.
What is going on is that we are open for business, and we continue to be open for business. We're here for the animals. We're here for each other. I've never worked with such a hardworking, compassionate, incredible group of people as I do now with Baltimore Humane. But we're also here for the community, and so there's some things that we are still doing, and that includes adoptions. What has changed is that people can't just meander into the shelter like they could before.
Right.
Everything is being done by appointment.
Yeah, I broke the 6-foot rule when, you know what I mean? Like but the times we were in there was like on a week, and there were a lot of people, and that's heartening to hear the dogs barking and the cats meowing and people in there wanting to interact with the animals. I mean, that's what the animals want, quite frankly, right?
It's tough. It's tough, but in the same respect, this way, people once they peruse the website, fill out an application, get pre-approved to adopt, pick out one or two that you're really interested in getting to know. And then what we do is we give you a phone call, we get you an appointment, we have you come in, and you get to spend some time one-on-one with those animals that you think you'd like to meet. Okay? If you make a match, then the adoption proceeds.
I love the way you talk about it the way I talked about Match.com before I was married. You know, you make a coffee and you hang it. And that's literally
that's kind of what you need to do, because unlike most cats typically will pick you. Dogs, it could go either way.
Yeah.
But for the most part, there does have to be a match. It needs to be a fit for your lifestyle. And open your minds, because it's not just dogs and cats. We have hamsters, we have rabbits, and every once in a while, and I know with the Baltimore rats and everything else, people go, ooh, rats. Domesticated rats are really cool and incredibly intelligent. We had a group of 4 of them for quite some time. We named them after the Beatles. And the thing is that they needed to go home as a group. And a couple of weeks ago, that happened. And we have gotten, and I've posted the update pictures on Facebook, but there is a woman in the city that has 4 rats named after the Beatles that couldn't be happier.
Which one is Ringo the ugly one?
No, none of them are ugly. It was quite funny, but so open your minds, because it really is dependent upon how much time you had. You touched on the fact that adopting might be a great time now, but you also need to think about the future. The good thing about adopting now, especially when you are going to be at home, is that in the case of dogs especially that need some training, you'll have the opportunity, because you're home, to possibly potty train them, get some basic commands down, get that domestication going, so that when you do go back to work and you are going to leave that animal alone, that it already has those basics down pat. So there are some opportunities there. I highly recommend it. You've got some shelters. All of the shelters in the area are working on pretty much the same model as we are. Our spay and neuter services at this time in our wellness clinic is closed. I know that's the case for the Maryland SPCA and Barks also. It's what we had to do in order to survive at this time and also keep social distancing in mind. We do have the Bmore Kind Pet Food Bank, which got a nice donation to it. We're incredibly thankful. But for those people who need are going through some financial stress because of what is going on, we do have that service available. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's for up to 5 indoor cats or 3 indoor dogs. And we will allocate a month's worth of food. You have to fill out some paperwork and get on our rolls. And you can do that just by simply calling our main number, 410-833-8848, and selecting option 2 to find out more information, or you can go to our website. But our hope is that we can kind of fill that gap, so that when people are under financial stress, and so many people have lost their jobs, that we are able to help them. Right now, over the past month, we have seen a 20% spike in the number of people that we are currently helping. So we're asking for donations for that. So if you happen to have extra food, even open bag food, or, of course, and you know this, Nestor, having cats, sometimes cats, for no reason whatsoever, will decide that they no longer want to eat what they used to love to eat. And suddenly you will have an overload, like I do right now, of food that no one's going to touch, and so it's going to go to the food bank. So in those cases, we definitely do take donations, and you can do those contact-free, and you can just bring them down, put them in our donation shed, and grab your receipt, so that you're not having to get in contact with anyone.
Well, Kate, later when you watch this, you'll see that the cat's been all over the set. She hit my video camera. She's a little camera shy. She didn't really like my hat and, sort of my radio voice. So I get a different voice with that. But she has been here purring and waving to the crowd and showing off her beautiful green eyes.
She knows that you're talking to us.
Kate, the day we were there, it was 2.5 years ago, and I skipped. And you know how much I love to travel, like your husband, football and whatnot. By the way, Kate Pike is here from Bmore Humane. You can find them out on Facebook at Bmore Humane. They have beautiful animals. Make a friend. It'll change your life. So the day we're out there, we were out there all day and we were very, very hyper emotional, you know? And I mean, you actually have like bereavement people there. People there really sort of understood. I know you probably read the 8 pages I wrote about my cat and my mom and all that stuff. But when we were out there that day, I played with some cats and we weren't sure what we wanted to do. And then we saw this little cat and she looked just like Kitty from the back. Kitty was a diluted calico. Yeah, and Nahla is just a calico, I guess. And we saw her, and she kissed me, and we're like, we got to take this cat. So we brought her home, and that night, like, she laid right in the same spot, and it's two completely different cats, you know, completely on the same time schedule. Cats are such incredible creatures of habit in what they do, and she fetches, and she's playful, and she's good on catnip, and she doesn't tear anything up, and she doesn't use her nails, and she's intuitive, and I don't know where my wife would be without her, to be honest with you, Kate. So,
well, you brought up something that's incredibly important right now, and something that a lot of people don't know that we even have. And, you know, number one, we're out in Reisterstown. We have 300 acres.
It's beautiful.
If it were normal times, we would actually be hosting our first of our second Sunday hikes coming up in April, but we've put them off because of everything that's going on. But, you know, keep an eye on our website because we do hikes with our veterinarian out there, and you can bring your dog. But one of the things that we have out there, you talked about bereavement services. We do cremations, we do burials, and we have a whole memorial park, a cemetery for animals. And, you know, animals still pass away and animals still need a place to be their final resting place. And I know that Veronica, she is our Memorial Park director. I was talking to her today. She was out there planting tiger lilies that someone had donated for the space. But there are all kinds of animals that are buried out there, including, my understanding is, there is the remains of an elephant. And this goes all the way back to when the Humane Society was first started and when Mrs. Sager actually created it. She had taken in some circus animals, and one of the elephants had passed away. And it is actually buried on that property. So there's some cool stories.
Well, we loved, you know, the rides we've taken out there over the years to pick our cats out and bring them home. Very, very memorable, you know, obviously. So help everybody, help the cats, help the dogs. We're trying to get Nahla back onto the set. Jen is a bit of a cat whisperer, Kate. You know, she speaks Jackson Galaxy or something. I don't know. Like,
I could see that.
Yeah,
I could see that about
really,
her.
yeah. She's so Nahla's back on the set. She's going to say goodbye. Are you going to say goodbye? She's quiet right now, but at least she's being peaceful and she's having a great afternoon. So another great day with our cat. Kate, tell everybody how they can find you and you personally, Bmore Humane to adopt a miracle. How about that?
Like I said, right now everything is by appointment only. So anything that you need, whether it's to donate, that's the only thing you can do contact free. You can either do that on our website, which is bmorehumane.org/donate, or you can click the pop-up that's right on the front page, compliments of me as of today. We do, of course, need monetary and financial contributions. If you would also like to donate things, whether it's food bank merchandise, blankets, towels, whatever you have that could possibly help us, you're more than happy. You can stop by any time during business hours, so that would be 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Mondays or 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. We're open both Saturday and Sunday. So those ways, but if you want to adopt, make sure that you go online, complete and submit an application. First, take a look at the animals that we have available. That's as simple as going to our website and just clicking on adopt and then clicking what you're looking for. Again, keep an open mind. You might be surprised on what you end up going home with. Well,
all we'd have to do is put her on video on catnip, and everybody be like, "I have to have one of those. I need one of those."
In our house, it would be just it would be more put them on catnip and give them a laser light.
Well, I know you and Chris love your animals as well. We love having you in Baltimore. I wanted to give you some fair time here with all the issues going on of pandemic and jobs and loss and sickness and
we have challenges. We have some serious challenges. every single thing that we had planned, including our Black Tie Gala in May, 3 different fundraising events that we were to be the beneficiaries of. So much stuff happened because it's going into spring and summer, and so many things that got canceled that us, just like a number of organizations, are all going to have a hard time. And I mean, anything that anyone can do to help is definitely appreciated. Please consider adopting. Please consider donating. We've unfortunately at this time even had to cut off our volunteers from coming in because, Nestor, you've been down there. You know that the space gets tight very, very quickly down there. It's not a huge space in any of the buildings that we have. And so temporarily, we've even had to just put it to staff only. So that hurts. That makes it harder for us to do our jobs, but it's also an extremely necessary thing, considering the situation that we're in. It's about the health of everyone.
Well, listen, hang in there. We're all in it together. Wash your hands, do all that stuff, work from home, support the animals. You can find them out at Bmore Humane. Kate Pika has been my friend for a long time. She's now representing Bmore Humane. We want to make sure that we're doing the right thing around here as we're all trying to heal and get right, that an animal could be part of that for you as well.
Definitely.
Incredible little companions. And I got to go. I got to go love my cat up, all right? We're making fried chicken tonight at the condo. We're having chicken and beer tonight, Kate Pika. So,
nice.
All right.
Nice. If there wasn't social distancing, I'd be at your house.
No, if it weren't social distancing, we'd be going to Rofo and getting some chicken and bringing it over here is what we'd be doing. Some Western fries. All right. Be well, all right?
All right, you too.
You guys, I wear my Chicken Palooza shirt here. My wife and I are trying to get, trimmed up. We're doing, yoga. We're hanging out with the cat. We're promoting businesses and charities and stories. Find it all on the buyatoyota.com. Audio Vault. Nasty at WNST.net finds me. We're keeping calm. We're staying local. We're loving up Nahla. And we're Baltimore positive.